closed. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back to a very special episode of Sean's show. I am here with none other than my Asian producer, Josh Cabaza. Oh no! We're back!
Yeah.
Welcome to... Wow, I don't even know what to say, Josh. This is incredible.
It's glad to have you back, man. There's so much Bitcoin, AI. I feel, you know what? It feels so good when now the friends are like, "You remember we were talking about you saying something about Bitcoin?" And I'm just like, and it takes everything within me to not be like, "Motherfucker, I've been telling you."
Dude, it's amazing because like you don't produce many shows with someone that's autistic as me. I think I'm probably number one.
Yes, in autism,
number one in autism. And so no, dude, it's great. It's like, you know, the way that you feel about Bitcoin is how I feel about Elon. All this Elon hate.
Yeah.
I'm like, I fucking told you guys. I fucking told you motherfuckers. They're all like, I don't like Elon. He's a Republican. I'm like, I hate him because he took subsidies from the California government for Tesla. Yeah. I think that was wrong. And I was saying that in college. And my roommates were like, "You're just a hater."
Well, because he was back then he was cool. Now he's part of the establishment.
Right. He's a part of the anti-establishment, which is
still part of the establishment.
See, it is funny to think about, like, you know what was so funny is Bitcoin went up and then Trump got elected and Bitcoin went up. And all these also, I'm a New Yorker now. I'm a trans now. I'm trans.
Congratulations.
I've literally said that to everyone, and it's bombed every time, and I'm not going to stop saying it. I literally like landed in Austin. I was like, what should I tell people when they're like, how's it going?
Yeah. And
I was like, I'm in New York. I'm trans now.
Yeah.
And it's been bombing. I think it's so funny though.
Keep doing it if you love it.
But no, dude, it's been a long road. It's been a long road to get to 80K for Bitcoin. And I think
it's about to hit 100. It's at 99 right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's at 99?
Yeah.
Dude, so, I mean, this is crazy. You know how I know it's overvalued right now? Is that everyone else is asking about it.
Yeah.
So we may get a pullback. But, like, when do you see it hitting 1 million? I mean, is this a coin? Well, I mean, this is like a reunion, Josh, because I know what you're going to say. You're gonna be like, I don't talk about. No. Hey, you could be like, it's gonna hit.
One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Okay, that's all that matters.
When's it gonna hit 1 million? And you're like, 1 million.
Hopefully not
fiat currency.
Hopefully not next year, because if that happens, that means our economy's in total shit.
Yeah.
So hopefully the 1 million happens gradually, and that way more people people like me can accumulate more. Because once it hits 1 million. I'm priced out. Like, I'm barely going to get any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really, especially if the dollar still has any value to it. Yeah. But it's it's really, you know, it's really crazy to see the adoption. I mean, you pretty much had it right.
Well, I didn't. I just listened to the guy who I thought had it right and put the biggest bet, which was Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy.
Oh, right. And his company's killing it, isn't it?
It's killing it right now. They're calling it the next Berkshire Hathaway.
So, dude, isn't it like going up 10% a day?
It's going up. It's the most volatile on NASDAQ. I believe it's NASDAQ it's on, but it's also like the #1 traded right now.
That's so crazy.
Because all they're doing, when you buy, they go and they take that money and they buy more Bitcoin. And that's all they keep doing is like...
It's just like a trust. It's like a Bitcoin trust now, basically.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
But why I think it's going up so fast is because Trump said we're going to buy 1 million Bitcoin reserve over the next 5 years, the United States, and 200,000 Bitcoin a year. So if the United States does that, all other countries will follow suit. It's called the milkshake theory.
Right.
Countries start printing their currency to purchase the Bitcoin, which just drives the value up.
And it also brings closer to the present the global adoption of Bitcoin.
And becoming the world's reserve. And then instead of everything is now would be priced in Bitcoin. and the second layer being the dollar or the yen or wherever you live.
Right. But and then there's going to be all these technologies that facilitate the transfer of like dollars to Bitcoin.
Yeah, like
there already are.
Yeah. Well, that's the other one. People are saying that they're going to use XRP. I don't know if that's true, but XRP for the first time has started fucking flying.
Damn.
Yeah, it's doubled in like 2 weeks because Gary Gensler's out.
Who's that again?
Gary Gensler's the head of this SEC.
Oh, right.
And he said that I'm going to retire on January 20th.
Was he pro Ripple or did he
sued XRP?
Right. Okay. He did SEC legislation that was to.
He's the one that blocked the ETFs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so now all these pro crypto people are they're saying that these are the people we're going to put in place, and we're going to have a reserve. And he's talking about maybe, this can get us out of our debt crisis. And I'm happy and at the same time terrified, because that means any of my family members that have a business that work their ass off, they're going to get fucked.
Yeah.
All the money that they saved that's in bonds or 401k or whatever like that, they're fucked.
It pays to be autistic, Josh. It really does.
I don't feel. I feel less and less crazy over the past 4 years.
Yeah,
which makes me more and more scared.
Well, because I think people talk. What's so weird about it is like, it's gonna be an extremely there's pretty much no question now that it's gonna eventually be the global reserve currency, and anyone who owns Bitcoin is going to be very wealthy. But that's exciting to talk about. If you're like brainwashed, like we're brainwashed, like I'm pro Bitcoin. But then there's this other side of the whole like thesis of Bitcoin, which is global instability. What comes with the revolution and the Bitcoin revolution is all of this global instability, or is that not? Or I mean, the whole premise is the opposite. The whole premise is that there's going to be no more wars and shit.
No more wars. Just you can't have endless war because you can't print more Bitcoin. You can print more dollars, but you can't print more Bitcoin. So once you run out of that, you can't fund your war.
So Josh, what I'm hearing you say is that if I want a free Palestine, I should buy Bitcoin.
Yeah. Basically.
It's so I feel like a lot of people that own Bitcoin they don't really care about that.
No.
I don't think they give that's like but it's a positive externality to have no wars.
I would probably say maybe half want a Lambo.
Right.
I'm selfish. I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home on a 1/4 acre lot in Austin.
You'll get that in digital Austin.
Yeah, Sandbox. I have one of those on Sandbox right now.
Dude, it's so crazy, man. It's wow, this has been a really good trip. I'm visiting Austin for my listeners. And it's been a really quintessential trip to Austin because we're talking about Bitcoin in a basement at 1:30 at midnight, and it's like very cerebral and crazy. And then on the way in here, a homeless man was like,
yeah, dude, they're getting more aggressive. There's something out right now in the past 2 weeks where I've got one got really mad at me and threw the golf ball that was in his pocket at a truck. And then I walked off. Another guy, I had a lit, whatever. And he was just like, do you have a lighter? And I was just like, no, I don't have a lighter. He's like, well, I'll just use that. And I was just like, what? And I was right here, and he went towards my face.
With it?
Well, no, like to grab it. And I was like, I didn't want him to touch my face. So I was like, oh, and I just gave it to him. He fucking punked me.
That's so funny. And then you ran away?
Yeah, and then this other lady, I felt so bad for her. She just kept asking me for a blanket and then curled up in a ball.
Oh, God.
Right by the liquor store. God. And I was like, man, this fucking heroin they're giving you all is insane.
Yeah. It's getting good.
Yeah.
That's the good heroin.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, it's
that fentanyl heroin.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's a new era. It's fucking Trump's America. That's what I've been saying to everything. Good or bad, I've been saying, like, Trump's America, man. It's fucking... But, I mean...
It's Elon's America.
It's Elon's... Dude, let's talk about DOGE.
Yeah. They're going to have a podcast. Him and Vivek.
No.
Yes.
about Doge.
Yes. Not Doge, the coin, but the...
the Department of Government Efficiency.
And they're going to talk about... Yeah, and they're already saying 88% of the government jobs are bullshit.
I mean, that's just not... It's 99%. We all know that it's 99%, Josh.
And that he said that this Elon... I don't know where he's getting this from, but he's like, yeah, and we'll let them go and they'll get a 2-year retirement.
Oh, like a severance?
A severance. 2-year severance is what they'll get. But I understand why people are so mad because, I mean, I'm upset in the fact that it's a little scary that he has that much power. But I'd be super upset if it was Bill Gates.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Josh. It is Bill Gates.
Yeah.
It is Bill Gates. Bill Gates is smart enough to stay behind the scenes, I think, of it all. And he makes decisions for us that we don't even know the decisions that he makes.
Yeah.
And that's what we should be upset about. Whereas Elon is almost stepping into the public eye so much. I mean, dude, I'm pretty upset with it. I've been talking a lot about how like it's just it's like I want to be upset about Elon like purchasing political capital because that's what he did. Right? I think that's how I look at it is he spent $130 million to fund Trump's campaign. And he's...
Not only that, he put him at the top of Twitter. So whenever you saw a Trump rally, it was 15 million people watching it on Twitter. Why? Because it was at the top of the list.
He like pinned Trump everything to the top of X. It's called X now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm dead naming. I'm dead naming X.
You're the only Bitcoin guy that calls it Twitter. It's are you on Blue Sky?
I've heard of that. I just heard of that like 2 days ago.
It's this hot new heroin strain. Yo, are you on Blue? You do Blue Sky?
What is it like? It's like
I don't
Twitter.
know. It's like centrist liberal Twitter. You know what's so annoying about it is it's like they make these software developers keep making the same copy of Twitter over and over again, and they're just like, we're gonna censor different ideology. Like they're like, we're gonna make a new app. What's it called? Blue Sky.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? It's gonna be Twitter.
Yeah.
But we're gonna censor this group of people. How does that sound?
Well, it's the same thing. It's like, we're going to have this room or whatever, this club, but it's only this type of person that is allowed in this room.
Right. Racism.
Yeah.
Or sex. Are you talking about bathrooms?
It depends on what race does it.
Depends on the room.
Yeah.
If it's a bathroom.
If it's full of Asians, black people, not racist. Full of white people, very racist.
This is called the Black Rabbit, Josh.
Yeah.
Did I dox us or do people?
No, people know.
Okay, people know.
Off 5th and Brazos. Check it out every Thursday through Sunday.
Check it out. It's the best club in Austin.
On Google ratings, it is. Yeah.
On Google ratings. It's safe.
Yeah.
No, dude. It's like I feel like I've been dissecting. I've been talking about this new agency. Well, it's what's in. Here's what's like. Here's what's actually very surprising to me is that Elon is a great marketer. He's a great salesman. He's a great marketer. Tesla is an incredible brand. SpaceX is an incredible brand. And he's a great salesman. But when it comes to Doge, it's I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it's called the Department of Government Efficiency. But as far as I know, I believe it's not actually a new department in the government. It's an external, basically advisory group. I don't know if it's a private company.
It's not official.
It's just a name for. It's the name of Vivek's and Elon's new pod.
Yes,
that's what America is.
A podcast got Trump elected. A podcast will now run this country.
That's what does it really take to cut the government? Podcasts.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
What did podcasts do? They cut out the middleman, the radio. You know what I mean? The
George Soroses of the world.
Yeah, you can't say this, you can't say that. Now you can say whatever you want.
Dude, I mean, maybe it's time to lock in. Maybe it's just time to lean in. Maybe Elon, imagine just Elon and Vivek on a podcast.
Yeah.
Talking about it does suck to imagine being a federal employee watching. Imagine, because I don't know if you've seen on X, they're like kind of like dragging certain federal jobs.
Yeah.
Like they'll like pull a random federal job out of the apparatus and it'll be like director of climate diversity. And they'll be like 180K a year. And they'll be like, this job is fake.
Yes.
It's a fake pussy liberal job. And it's going to be this podcast is going to be crazy. Imagine being that one federal employee and your job gets chosen for Vivek and Elon to just roast.
But you get 2 years severance.
That is nice.
You know what I mean?
If it's 2 years severance at full, if I'll take my severance in Bitcoin.
Oh, none of them will do that.
Dude, if it's a 2 year severance in dollars, just put a bullet in my head. That's kind of where I would be at if I'm a federal employee. You know? Like, also, I wonder if there's going to be a revolving door there where they're going to cut the federal employees and they're all just going to go to the private contractors.
If they can, if they have some type of clearance, but what Trump wants to do with I don't know if it was the CIA or FBI, that if you leave, you can't take your clearance with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of them were leaving the FBI so they could
go to like a
private
Palantir.
Yeah, private company and make way more money.
Right.
And still have all the clearance.
Dude, Palantir. I was right about Palantir. This is like a victory lap, dude. You're right about Bitcoin. Palantir's at $62.
Yeah. What was it before 28?
Something like that, bro.
Yeah.
I was right. I was not as right as you. But I was still right.
I
win.
haven't been right about GameStop yet.
That's one that how's that doing?
It's going up. It's like $28.
That's good.
Yeah.
What's the like end game there? Are they still just shorting it into infinity?
Yeah, and they're not. Apparently, there's dark pools. I don't know what any of that means. Dark pools and
a dark pool. That's a P Diddy party.
Yeah, and that if the new CAT system goes into play next year as it's supposed to, that it's not going to allow this dark pool trading, and that it should shoot up to like $400 something like in a day.
Yeah.
Because it's just everybody going through one door trying to cover all their shorts or they're going to get huge fines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Or it's like that. Or it's like bankrupt, basically. Dude, it's crazy. I mean, even that's going to be, even the whole the way the stock market's regulated is going to be affected by Bitcoin too.
They're saying, I keep saying they're saying, just people on Instagram podcasts I've seen, it's called the Great Melt Up, where they're just like all these assets are just going to go stupid high, and then a crash, like a hard 1929 crash.
We're overdue.
And
it's almost 2029.
Well, from what I've seen in the past 4 years politics, the DNC will not let this. When somebody gets really mad and you're playing Monopoly, and I'm kind of like a spoiled brat, what am I going to do? I'm going to flip the board over.
Right.
So it's kind of like that's what I think happens. I think once he gets in, it'll be going up at first, and then within a few months, a year, I don't know when, they pull the rug, meaning like the dollar starts going to shit, banks close and not being able, you know what I mean? There's all and then it's like, look, he fired all these government employees, making them.
Yeah.
Because they don't want him to win.
Well, dude, not only that, they're also going to blame him for like Ukraine and Palestine, every foreign policy thing that the Democrats enabled, they're going to put on Trump.
That's scary right now. Did you see there's a Russian state TV showing which countries in Europe that they would nuke if they get hit with those?
Oh, with the long range.
Yeah. They're like, well, these are all the places that we would nuke, and it's showing like strategic spots. And this is like if we're watching it on ABC.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, it's as someone who studied hypersonic missiles, I think I'd encourage them to try. What's up? I'll fuck them up, dude. I'll fuck Putin up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like it's do you feel, I don't know. Do you feel like we could really like go to nuclear war? I mean, is that something that like,
yeah, I think we could.
You think so?
Yeah.
Some people always say we're closer than ever, but I'm like, we've been closer than ever for a decade. We've been closer than ever forever. So it's like, how much closer? We're already as close as we can get.
Until we cross it.
You know?
Until we cross it. And I think, it all happens at once. You know what I mean? Nuke, then China invades Taiwan, dollar collapse. It all happens all at once.
It seems like that's almost like...
And AI rises.
Right. Dude.
And that's what pulls us out, the new, revolution, like the printing press or, internet coming out. But
I feel
times
like
10.
It could be AI or it could be a good war. We need a good...
It all comes at once.
We need a good third world... I think it's going to be melt up, massive depression, like 1929.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have a world war to create jobs. Mm-hmm. And then...
Jesus comes back.
Then I finally buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's when it crashes.
Yeah, that's when it crashes.
You know what would be really funny is like... Because I don't own any. Yeah. And like literally every... I should have bought some. Like whatever. Like everyone.
You still can.
And I'm not going to.
Out of principle.
Now I'm dug in. Yeah. Like I'm dug into being like... Plus, you know what I mean? Like I should own some, but...
Get some IBIT from BlackRock.
Some IBIT? Yeah.
Yeah, that's their ETF.
I mean, I should get a job at BlackRock.
They just started selling options
on the Bitcoin
on
ETF.
The ETF.
That's crazy.
It's stupid high. It's like for $100. It's like pay $1,300 for these for $100 call.
I'm sure the spreads are crazy too. Yeah, like it's just that's not worth the trade.
No, it's not. Yeah.
If you're poor, you can skip 10 minutes ahead. Honestly, if you're one of the poor people that listens to this, just you can turn it out. Like this is really for the top 1%.
Yeah, totally.
Listeners. So I have a story about AI that we should look at. So I have a listener named Gary, and he's my #1 fan, and he's the only reason I do the show. I'm just
Is he part of the deep state?
He's in my Facebook group, which is the Deep Shade. The Deep Shade. But this is actually I also stumbled upon this story. You might have seen it too. It's on Reddit about if you just type in like local news station AI Reddit. And this is crazy. I mean, this is like a guy that's basically, that's it. So this is crazy, dude. This is a crazy story. So here's the title. New AI system replacing entire local news team. All production staff eliminated. And then it's a repost from r/ChatGPT. So here's the post. Well, this is it, boys. I was just informed from my boss in HR that my entire profession is being automated away. Now, that's a sentence that I read, and I imagine whoever's typing that has a gun in his mouth. It's like, well, this is it, boys.
I think they just put it in a ChatGPT. It was like, make me sad.
Make this sound suicidal. So I want to say this first of all. If you work in local news production, kill yourself. No. But I'm like, if you, like, think of what year is it? 2024. Mm-hmm. If you just started a career in local news production, let's say you've been in local news production for 3 years. That means you graduated college in 2021, right?
Right.
Studying, which means you started college in 2017, which means around that time, you were an individual that decided to study journalism or throw your life in the trajectory of local news media. And if you decided you have, I believe, Josh, I'm in Austin, Texas for today, so I'm going to talk like a Texan. Actions have consequences. I believe that choices matter. The choices that you make matter. This is not a pop. If I said this in New York, they'd shoot me. Literally, Josh, if you say like choices have consequences, that's like racist. I'm kind of being ironic now.
It's like a dog whistle.
Actions have law. We're a nation of laws. We're really not a nation of laws.
Yeah.
Like Republicans say we're a nation of laws. We're not. We're a Bitcoin nation.
Now we are.
I promise I'm sober. So okay, let me go back to the Reddit thing though. This is a guy whose job is being replaced by AI. He works in local news media. But if you went and you study journalism in 2017 and you want to work at Kazan, Minnesota, and you think that that's like an industry of the future, you're retarded. You are retarded. Like, is that cruel? Like, it's just you can't be surprised. Well, can you be really surprised? I mean, like, what does local news stations do? Well, I realize I'm talking to a producer right now as I'm saying I'm shitting on him.
No, I mean,
but what you do is different, Josh. But
thank you.
No, but you have a million skills and you make yourself marketable. This is a guy who was doing a commodity thing. He was cutting between. I don't know. You know what I'm trying? I don't know. Am I being overly harsh?
No, I don't see I don't think you can anticipate that it was going to be coming that fast.
It did come fast.
Yeah, exactly. So I would think like, okay, it's going to evolve and we'll use AI to help us, not AI to replace us. But it's a lot easier to get AI to say exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to suck is now I have to stare at an AI weather girl where it's like, I know she's going to be, but I know deep down she's not real.
Either way, she was never going to fuck you.
I know that, but that was having a come up where it started in about the same time, 2017, and they were just getting big asses and big old, just more cleavage. And the
BBL weather woman.
It made me care about weather a lot. And now she's probably going to look beautiful.
Right.
But it's AI.
Right.
And what's really going to suck is the people that get fired and then they just use like your forehead and somebody else's eyes and then the other you know what I mean? Like, that's my forehead.
Yeah.
They're using my fucking forehead on this AI.
Well, dude, it's not even just
person talking.
It's not even just the talent.
Yeah.
It's the back end production. So if we like look deeper here. So this guy goes, for context, I work production in local news. Well, I would say hold this L, first of all. Recently, there's been developments in AI-driven systems that can do 100% of the production side of things, which is direct, audio operate, and graphic operate. All those jobs are now gone in one swoop. The company, this has apparently been developed by the company QAI. My friend is the CEO of QAI.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually good, but no. But for the last decade, he's actually been in the game for a while. For the last decade, I've worked in local news and have garnered skills I thought I would be able to take with me until our retirement. Now at almost 30 years old, all of these job opportunities are gone for me in an instant. The only person that's keeping their job is my manager, who will look over the system and do maintenance if needed. That's 20 jobs lost and 0 gained for our station. Yeah, but QAI hired 100 people.
Yeah. And they don't have to sleep. They don't need a 401k. You know what I mean?
They hire 100 AI agents.
Yeah.
So it's so this is, maybe emblematic of what's going to happen to the broader economy very soon. Mm-hmm. You're going to have companies like QAI go into big buildings that employ hundreds of people, and they're going to go, "Hi, we're QAI. You spend $1 million a year on labor payroll. Mm-hmm. We're going to charge you $30,000 to do the same work, and you can lay off all those people and pay and save 70%." Mm-hmm. That's the premise of AI, and I think the question is, what's the time period that this is going to happen?
Didn't Sam Harris say something like 5 years, less than 5 years,
where AI just ravages the economy and destroys all these?
It completely changes it. I mean, everything. Stockbrokers, teachers, imagine judges, where it's just like, it's not just a person who didn't eat and their blood sugar's low. And I hate now, you have this bias, you don't even know you have this bias, but then the judge is just a computer with no emotions. It's like, well, this is the law and this is the sentence, and and then they just put that out. I mean, it's gonna cover everything except maybe sports,
right? Maybe esports, video game.
I like the one, I forgot where I read it, that said that there'll be no more famous people because all you got to do is That's why when you sign these contracts, we own your likeness in perpetuity from now on, entire universe, whatever, however they form it.
Right.
Because now I can take, Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's his name, the famous cowboy, old school from the 50s or 40s,
Hitler.
John Wayne.
John
You know
Wayne.
what I mean? Like all these famous actors, and then you just put them in a movie, and AI writes it all out, and these are the famous people.
So here's the question, though.
Still.
All this stuff happens.
Yeah.
How do we get money to consume the things?
So the way you're going to get paid is you're going to get paid to consume the things. So the government will pay you a certain amount to just live, and then your job will be to like watch this product and test it out, and you know what I mean? So instead of us having to pay subscriptions will pay you to watch.
And it'll be almost like it'll be like, and we'll consume it and give it feedback simultaneously.
We consume it and we give all of our information and everything, but we get paid. We're getting paid for our time.
By who? The companies?
By the companies. Yeah.
In Bitcoin?
No, probably not in Bitcoin. It's probably gonna be some shit coin, some Shiba Inu or some shit.
In Doge?
Yeah, if they're lucky.
Well, that doesn't sound too bad.
We'll be sitting there with our Facebook glasses on and our AR, right? And you'll be
Our
wearing
MetaQuest.
a brown jumpsuit. But because I bought the package that lets me see like I'm in all Versace, and as long as you have your glasses on, I'm dressed in Versace as well. I paid a lot of money for that.
Right, my digital Versace.
Exactly, and I live in a room the size of this room right here, but when I put on my glasses, it's a fucking mansion.
And if that doesn't sound good, you can always hop in a suicide pod.
Yeah.
And die peacefully.
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas. In Switzerland.
In Switzerland. No, in all the other states, but Texas, it's going to be the no old age abortion law. You can't do that.
Yeah, no Benjamin Button abortions.
Yeah.
A BBA,
yeah,
if you will. I mean, a Texas suicide pod is just that's called a Chevy. The suicide pod is driving a Chevy with no seatbelt.
There you go.
Let's scroll down on this. I kind of want to learn more about how people are reacting. As a Tegan director, I would really like to know more about this and not be blindsided like the marketing team was yesterday. I don't know what Tegan is, but it's some news shit. So, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that local news was even still a profitable business. Is it? I guess people need to know local news, right?
It's good for propaganda, and old people will watch it at night.
So, and that itself is a business model that was already based on ads.
Yeah.
They're not even, the customer is Coca-Cola. When you watch the local news, they generate revenue from, Coca-Cola is paying them, right? To make the news.
That's part of it.
Coke, Pfizer, any number of national brands that, or I don't know. I don't know the business model, but like, I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because my parents are landlords. I don't have sympathy, but like, and I'll never have to be in a position where my job gets automated. Famous last words.
I know.
Dude, I actually used I used Chat GPT to punch up one of my jokes, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I did a line where I was like, what joke was it? Oh, I have this joke about going to NASA and seeing a green screen because they were filming something commercial for the moon rover, but it looked like they faked the moon landing.
Yeah.
So the joke is I went to NASA and there's a green screen. I was like, this looks bad. And the punch up that ChatGPT suggested was that'd be like seeing me writing a manifesto outside of high school. You don't want to judge, but it looks bad. And I've tried it and it's always bombed.
The problem with running your jokes through that is just taking from every comic that ever wrote. So you're going to catch a line from a famous comedian.
I know. That's why I want to steer clear of it.
Yeah.
Because they're just, well, and that's what the thing, that's what's so crazy about AI is that it spits out unique stuff. It feels like it's spitting out unique stuff. But a lot of the time, but the flip side of it is a lot of stuff with AI is very derivative and it feels very the same.
Yeah.
Like you see these AI photos.
It can't create, it can only replicate.
Right. And it's almost like sometimes it even, I feel like it just barely changes anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost just scraping the internet and modifying it in an immaterial way and telling you like, look at what I created. And that's not what it created. That was a human.
Yeah.
That was not compensated. And it's let me cook on this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like OpenAI and LLMs that scraped the entire internet to build this new quote unquote new tool, ChatGPT or whatever cloud, whatever one you want to use. That is almost, I feel like the AI component of it, I see it as almost like a distraction. And the real business of OpenAI, their real business and the real profit and the real ROI comes from the fact that they paid $0 to own the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're able to sell for $20 a month the internet plus through the magic of AI to you. And they're selling AI, but what they're really selling is the fact it's theft. OpenAI, am I crazy here? But I feel like OpenAI did one of the most unbelievable heists ever. It's a heist. So if I pirate a movie, I'm a felon. I'm a bastard. OpenAI scrapes the entire fucking internet. But since they run it through an LLM, now it's their own. It's like a collateralized debt obligation.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take all these mortgages and we're going to package them.
Full of triple Bs.
Triple Bs. And since it's diversified, now it's triple A. It's a whole new product. I'm smart. And I'm selling you this brand new product, you know? But then you look inside and it's a bunch of dog shit. And I feel like there's an analogy there with LLMs where it's like, you didn't add anything.
In fact, your customers are the ones building it because they're the ones teaching it and learning with it. And so
they're selling water back to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling our own. They're selling the public's intelligence back to us. And I'm rock fucking hard. I'm so excited about this. I'm so upset that OpenAI is a private company that I cannot invest in.
This is how much it's penetrated. It's going into the church.
I like that you use that word.
It's going to the churches now.
Really? How so?
So there's a priest, my mother sent me, how this AI is not AI. It's the devil himself. And the devil cannot come through a womb. So it has to have a brain built for it and a body built for it. And that's through AI, we're going to summon Satan.
That's so cool.
And
that's so fucking cool.
The reason they're trying to put, like, there's these little, they're using stem cells, these little embryos, and they make little tiny brains. And
bro, I saw that. The bio AI computers.
And they taught it to play Pong. And that they're going to create a artificial womb with AI, and that's how Satan will be born. And I was like, damn, that's a good sci-fi fucking. I was watching it and I was enjoying it, but probably for the wrong reasons. I was just like, that's such a good movie. That's such a good movie.
that priest is just up there. And the Lord said,
I want to use AI to make that movie.
Yeah, you just take that guy's speech
exactly
and tell Claude to make it a movie. Like, take this speech and create a 2-hour movie based on it.
Yeah.
And you're telling Satan to make a movie about Satan.
Pretty much.
That's so funny, dude. It's, but obviously the ultimate irony of that is that the real devil is Catholicism. And the Lord, you know what? Hey, Josh, you know what else doesn't have arms or legs? The church. It's a building that was built by humans. You know what else doesn't have arms or legs? The Pope, pretty soon after I kill him.
Jeez.
All right. That was a joke. Dude, it's, can you look up the like AI cyborg brain shit? Just like AI brain experiments, it'll probably pop up. Just go to news. Should we stop Googling and we should stop Googling and start ChatGPTing?
There's actually a few podcasts that do that now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they just use their new iPhone with AI. Okay, it's AI cyborg brain, not cyborg, AI brain made with stem cells.
Can you type in AI brain XXX lesbian?
I don't have a VPN, it's Texas. Oh, I can show you what they look like. Is it? Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I think if you click that on the top left.
This one?
That's the one I think I saw.
This one?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, organoids.
Yeah, organoids is what they're called.
Lab-grown human brain organoids go animal-free. Let's check out this article. Well, that's good because PETA won't be mad. Do you think PETA's upset with this?
I'm sure, I don't know if it'll be PETA, but I'm sure there will be an advocacy group for AI saying like, look, they're conscious beings and we need to treat them well.
So let's read this. Let's take a look because I think we've both seen, maybe if you haven't seen, this is incredible, guys. So basically scientists, see, I've always been a proponent of unethical science research. I've always been someone that supports that.
Yeah, I know you're talking big about Fauci and gain of function.
I think the benefits outweigh the costs. Mm-hmm. I think that if a few people die or suffer so that we can all benefit from scientific knowledge, I think that that's okay as long as it's not me that's being experimented on. So, but like this is like a whole new horror beyond our imagination. They're going to create an AI computer that uses neurons inside of an organoid with neurons, like in our brain, that's going to power. Imagine like a whole data center with computers that are using neurons. That's the Matrix, bro. Is that not the Matrix?
It's a obedient workforce that I own. Because now it goes into, this is not a human, this is not a conscious being. This is something that created. I own this.
Well, I think, and it also brings up the question, where does life begin? Begins when you connect it to a semiconductor.
You can't say that. You can't say that. It's the company's choice. Okay?
We're going to get a whole new abortion thing with organoids.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, no. And then all these companies are going to want to euthanize the older versions of the data centers with organoids. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be people that are like, nuh-uh.
There'll be camps where they do it. Just huge camps where they go.
We're going to do a organoid data center holocaust.
And they just use that, what they used on the chickens, the cloud thing, that soap that went over them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is wild shit. Okay. Researchers have innovated a method to produce lab-grown mini brains known as human brain organoids, free of animal cells, promising a more accurate study in treatment of neurodegenerative conditions. That's not why you researched it. Previously, brain organoids were grown using a substance derived from mouse sarcomas called madrigal, leading to inconsistencies due to its undefined composition and variability. Could you scroll down? This might not be the right one. No, my bad. I'm sorry. This is the wrong. This is not with respect to AI.
This is the one that
my
I
bad.
saw.
Let's watch. Let's read this one. This is about retinal diseases. I think I want to try to. I saw some. I saw one about how it was. Oh, stem cell AI. There it was. In the, that one. Brain on a chip. Okay, this is fucking crazy. Stem cell AI. Brain on a chip project aims to revolutionize computing power and inject horror into the human consciousness. Revolutionary new chip project will see scientists using human brain stem cells on microchips to push the boundaries of AI. The new chip project, an international collaboration led by researchers at Aston University, has been awarded Can you look up where Aston University is? Let's see. Can you guess what country it's going to be, Josh?
I thought it was here in the United States.
I think it's going to be Germany. England. My favorite. So
damn it.
Let's scroll. Okay. Keep going down. I kind of want to, let's see. In the new chip project, the team will layer, okay, here we go. If you scroll down. So this is the meat of it. In the project, the team will layer networks of stem cells resembling the human cortex onto microchips. They will then stimulate the cells by firing changing patterns of light beams at them. Sophisticated 3D computer modeling will allow them to observe any changes the cells undergo to see how adaptable they are. This imitates the plasticity of the human brain, which can rapidly adapt to new information. Here's a quote from one of the people that's working in the project. The Jews must die now!
Jeez.
This feels Hitler-esque. This feels crazy.
It feels like the reverse of what Elon's doing. Elon's trying to put chips in brains. They're trying to put brains in chips.
Hey, there will be no difference, Josh.
Yeah.
In the end times, the brains and the chips will be one. A chip is a brain, and a brain is a chip.
Would you go into basically a server for the rest of your life to live forever?
That depends. Am I like a powerful guy in this server, or am I like a weak guy? Am I like a peasant?
You have no Bitcoin, so you're not going to be very powerful. But you can continue to live a basic life. Instead of dying old, we'll put you back at 25, and you can be 25 forever.
Can my beautiful girlfriend come with me?
She's not there. But you can get the exact replica of her in there because it's your world. It'll be extra.
No. I would die. She would flip if I was fucking a digital copy of her.
Yeah.
She'd be like, what's her name?
Yeah. Well, she's a believer, and the believers believe that you shouldn't do that because that's a form of hell. So she passes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're the one like, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I want to live longer, so I'm going to go in here.
I feel like I don't. Maybe, dude, I feel like I would. I mean, if it is even, because, if there's a way that we can get downloaded into a server, and that may not even be a form of immortality because even the servers gonna fail.
Yeah. But Earth will eventually blow up.
But maybe if it gives us enough time to figure out how to leave Earth, and then we have enough time to leave the universe.
Yeah.
Then we have enough time to be like, let's go through black holes. I mean, it's really just such a crazy reality we live in, dude.
Or, like Elon was saying, if that's the possibility, maybe we already did that. And you're living on a server right now.
Wow. I don't even know it.
And obviously you didn't buy any Bitcoin there too. You never learn. That's what you're coming back to learn again and again.
Dude, I die. What if that was what's after death? You die and you wake up and you're like, dude, why didn't you buy the Bitcoin, man? What the fuck? I'm like, is my dad here? Your dad bought Bitcoin. He's in a fucking level 8. He's in zone 8. Get out of zone 2, man. Then they blow your head off. Or then they put the mask and they go, no. It feels like a recursive, like infinitely recursive thing where we might all be organoids on chips. Like we may all be organoids on chips experiencing a server. Isn't that what this is? The end game of, maybe not now, but the end game of this is that, dude, actually, can you look up something that I saw on TikTok that was fucking crazy? It was literally like they're at the point with these things where it's, look up like brain organoid butterfly simulation.
Yeah, they're getting butterflies.
There's like a digital butterfly that they can tell to flap its wings and shit. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now this is something I want to invest in. Because as you know, my investment theory, Josh, is I only invest in things that are fundamentally evil or...
The evil ones make the most money.
Palantir. I mean, that's a panopticon. It's a global surveillance system. And it paid off. I would like to find a way to invest in this because it's truly horrific. It's jarring in a way that only certain things can do. I mean, this is okay. So let's take a look. Final Spark. Why is it always Switzerland that's doing this shit? Didn't Switzerland
Hydro Collider thing, whatever? With their
I was going to say the Suicide Pod. The Suicide Pod is a Swiss company.
That too.
So now they're doing. What is the culture of Switzerland that they are like making this horror?
It's just so cold up there. They're bored.
They're bored. They want to die.
Yeah, they're bored and they just want to escape the cold.
Okay, so Final Spark, a Swiss-based startup, offers its neural platform so researchers interested in biocomputing can write code that interacts with brain organoids, which are pea-sized mini brains derived from induced pluripotent stem cells. Can you click on this video? Maybe this video will give us more. Do we have sound?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I should have been playing. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, I'm very glad I could discuss this stuff with you, Josh, because, you know, in New York, if I said this, they would shoot me.
Yeah, you can't say that. You're basically saying your body, my choice is what you're saying.
This is your body. This is your body, my choice. And the people behind it are Swiss autistic losers that don't get their dick sucked.
Pretty much.
What you see here is not just a virtual butterfly in a video game. It's something far more extraordinary. What makes this butterfly special is that it's controlled by a lab-grown mini human brain, remotely connected over the internet. Sensory input and world information from this 3D virtual environment are transmitted to this brain organoid via specific electrical and chemical stimulations to mimic sensory input. This brain organoid, composed of 10,000 neurons grown in the laboratory from induced pluripotent stem cells, interprets the input and sends back.
Can you pause
signals.
it? Why did they make the music creepy on purpose?
Well, I found it interesting they used the butterfly, MK Ultra. You know, that's one of the things,
shit.
you know, the butterfly effect, this little thing.
The chaos, yeah, the butter.
Then, yeah.
And it's like so, I guess a butterfly is also a simple creature to simulate. Not really, it's wings. It's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's this is a short bit. Let's keep watching.
Controlling the butterfly's movements in real time. It's as if the brain itself is living within this simulated world. This is the first time this has been done continuously over the internet. This entire experience is powered by a WebGL simulation, accessible through any web browser, making a virtual world for the brain just a URL away.
Imagine that guy is like, I'm going to go see Grandpa.
Just a virtual butterfly.
And then he just opens up the thing. Here's your Grandpa. Then you got to put on your fucking Facebook, whatever thing, your meta thing.
And then your grandpa's just like, help me, Timmy. Timmy, help me.
He's like, please send more porn. I need more porn. I'm in Texas. They won't let me do it.
I need faster Wi-Fi.
Right?
Timmy, dude.
You just keep breaking up.
I mean, it's...
Your grandpa looks like Minecraft.
8-bit grandpa?
Yeah.
I mean, so they created... So, today, there is today, as we speak, there's already a human brain grown from stem cells attached to a server accessible remotely by anyone into the server that can be remotely controlled to simulate a world.
Mm-hmm.
So now if we, here's my question: would it suck my cock? Would it suck my dick?
Yeah.
In the server.
Mm-hmm.
That's not right.
Whatever you want. So I forgot who the philosopher was if you lived if you were God, you would do whatever you wanted. You'd live, 1,000 years or whatever, just doing whatever you want, and eventually you get bored of that, and you'd make it harder and harder for yourself. And then eventually you'd think of a world where you didn't know you were dreaming, you didn't know that you were God, and you lived a normal life. And you'd live the life that you're living now. So that's what I'm saying.
Are you just paying me a compliment?
So going into this AI, to me, is a form of hell. If you can get whatever you want, whenever you want, I mean, there's no consequences for anything. It sounds like fun, but you're going to get super bored. And then you got to live in there forever.
I'd like to live in Bel Air, Josh. I'd like to be rich. Thank you. You can go and enjoy your challenges. I'm happy to be rich.
Yeah.
But no, that is like, my question is, who allowed this company to grow a human brain from stem cells in a lab in the first place?
Fauci. I don't know.
Dude, if it was actually, I was about to be like, whoa.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon had a bunch of people trapped in a basement that he already did this to. He's like, that's old technology.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is, I mean, hey, if we believe what we believe about the CIA and FBI and DARPA,
yeah.
I mean,
they're way ahead of this.
DARPA probably has top secret bio AI projects that have already done this, and it's just like it's just truly great. It's haunting to like really, really think about how fast it's all happening. I mean, like,
but it's already, that's what I'm saying. It's not happening. It didn't happen fast. It already happened. They're just showing it to us faster now.
Right.
Like, get ready, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because they already have it.
Dude, what are the implications of this?
They're basically showing us an iPhone, but it feels like 1970. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, too soon, guys. What the fuck?
They show us the portal.
Yeah.
They're showing us the teleportals. I mean, here's the real question. Can these organoids, these brain organoids, are they going to buy tickets to my comedy shows? Are they going to go to seanreillycomedy.com?
They don't have to, because you can create a whole world where everybody comes to your comedy show.
It's called San Antonio, and I do own that world.
Every joke kills, and you get bored because you just go up there and go, and fuck all of you, you don't know art.
That's actually my act. Yeah. That's already my act, Josh, and it does.
Sorry for saying your joke.
I go,
yeah.
I go up there. I go, you're gay.
Yeah.
I go, you're a software engineer. That's fake.
You talk about Puerto Ricans being on a trash island. And
whoa. We're not going there, Josh.
How was that in New York?
I love Puerto Rico.
How was that in New York?
Oh, how was the reaction to it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was largely negative.
I would assume so.
I do, honest to God, dude, I did feel myself drifting to the left.
Yeah.
Living in New York, because I feel like you're influenced by what you're surrounded by.
Yeah.
And, man, I mean, it's what it is, bro. I'm honestly, did you see that Anthony Jeselnik article that he put out on Vulture, an interview?
Something about the Rogan sphere and how they're just podcasters and not real comics.
Podcasters aren't real comics.
That's a great way to get people to watch your Netflix special.
I know we're talking about him, so it's working.
Yeah.
But it's like, to me, it's just lowbrow to comment on other people's art. I don't know. It's a tough one, bro, because as a comedian, I don't want to feel like I have to be reserved or hide my thoughts about anything. I should be fully telling people, sharing how I feel about everything, regardless of what it is, and that includes comedy and the state of the industry. But on the flip side, I kind of do feel like it's bad for him to just, you know, kind of just rampantly kind of comment on other people's comedy.
Yeah.
And
well, not comment on the comedy. I'm just saying the comedy scene, the reaction to, like, each scene was, because this scene felt like people were rallying behind him.
Oh, it was the opposite in New York.
It was, yeah.
It was like his career was over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wasn't in LA, but from what I've heard from other comics who are in LA, similar to that. And I think just Austin is the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
To that.
And, you know, I think both sides are wrong in their own ways. I mean, I do think that, like, you know, or, you know, for a good while, or, you know, when all these politicians did podcasts, my gut reaction was disappointment.
Oh, I know.
You know, because
seeing RFK and Kill Tony bomb was the worst.
Was he really a guest? I didn't see that.
No, he wasn't a guest. He did a minute and bombed.
Really?
And his wife came up and was like, all right, that's enough.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And in, I don't know what theater it was or stadium.
Wow, I had no idea. I missed that.
Yeah.
You're not bullshitting
I'm
me?
not bullshitting
Ronald RFK Jr.
RFK Jr. went up and did a minute.
The director of Health and Human Services.
Did a minute on Kill Tony and was bombing. And it sounds worse because of his voice. So it just sounds like he's nervous. Telling the punch. And I'm like, and the punch came and the punch went. And I was like, oh, and you know other people wrote that for him. Yeah. And he's talking about, like, I think William Montgomery or something. I'm like, what the fuck world are we living in?
It's a simulation. That's the real simulation.
Yeah, it feels like it.
But, like, dude, it's, you know, but I don't know. I really do. I feel like I flip every week on my opinion about this stuff. Because
you travel a lot.
Yeah, I do. Right. And I'm fake as fuck.
Whatever you believe, I believe.
No, but I am like a snake and a fake person. But no, it's like, I don't know. I try to be open-minded about this stuff, and I'm trying to be real here. Like, the overlap between, and I'm not even just talking about the Austin scene where the politicians and the politicians that went on all the largest comedy podcasts, I won't say their names, but we all know who they are.
Yeah.
That happened. And on the left, you had Kamala go on SNL. So I'm trying to be objective here. The left and the right, in quote unquote left comedy, if you want to call that SNL, and right comedy, you want to call that the Rogan sphere or whatever. I don't even like to, like, simplify it like that though. But let's just group it all in. Many A-list big comedy podcasts and personalities are guilty of associating with politicians in some way, shape, or form. And they platform politicians. And my initial reaction to that was disappointment and being like, why are you giving up any politician your audience?
Hold on.
That was my initial reaction.
Didn't you have a politician running on a former podcast that you were doing?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Me and my former co-host, Tony Casillas.
Yeah.
We had a politician on the Thoughtless Experiment.
Yes.
It was his idea.
Okay.
And so, but, you know, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I was about to bring that up, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for keeping me in check.
Yeah.
That was my initial reaction. Then I remembered that I had a politician on my show, and I was also trying to keep it real with myself, being like, if I got reached out to by a large politician for an interview on my show, am I going to say no? Am I going to have the principled? Am I going to be principled enough? This would never happen, but hypothetically speaking, if Trump's team reached out to me and they said Trump wants to do Sean's show,
yeah,
am I gonna be principled enough to say no to that because I have this belief that comedians and politicians shouldn't mix? Am I gonna be principled enough to do that, or am I gonna rationalize, or am I gonna find a way to say yes? And
are you asking me what I think?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You're going to say yes, 100%.
Right. So I'm not, so like, that's why I'm not over, that's why, I was disappointed when all these politicians did the comedy shows, but am I different? Am I really that much better?
But is that fair? Because on Joe Rogan's podcast, he also had Bernie Sanders on there before, way before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's had other politicians. It's just he put on a very polarized one. And he offered it to the other candidate as well, Kamala.
Yes.
And she said, no, I don't want to do it that way.
And you know what's interesting? People were saying that was why she lost the election.
That's not why.
The reason that, in my opinion, that Kamala Harris lost the election is because of her race intergen. No.
That's probably 1% or 2% of it.
Yeah, I think... but the real reason is that there's this little organization that you mentioned called the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
And they write their own rules, and they're unaccountable to the public, and they appointed her the nominee.
Because we're dumb. We're dumb. That's why.
I think it's even worse. I mean, they're dumb or they don't.
Not they're dumb. We're dumb.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't know any better. And it was weird watching on The View. They were talking about the Valley, where I'm from. And the Valley's always voted blue, and it switched red. All 4 counties on the bottom of Texas, which is like 95% Hispanic, voted for Trump. And they're like...
That's actually wild when you say that out loud, considering the immigration.
Well, that's why people think, oh, they hate their own. It's just like when people cross the border, there's a checkpoint 45 minutes into Texas. So it's called a layered border. So really, that's the border. And all that in between, that's where they stay. And people were always able, when I was younger, to go back and forth. And they'd come work in Texas and go back to Mexico. But now it's people, it wasn't people from Mexico coming over who would have the same culture. It was people from all around the world coming in. Chinese, Haitian, all these other people. And it was really overflowing the services that they could do there. And nobody was listening to them. So they're like, well, we're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And they blamed it on this because of their toxic masculinity and they hate women. I'm like... Okay, see, that just proves you're blind to seeing what people are saying. Like, yo, we need help. You might have got a few 100,000 bused to your city, but we have possibly millions in a place that only had millions, you know, and we don't have the resources to help them.
Right. I mean, personally, I think there's always room for more Chinese food in the Valley and Haitian food. But no, man, it's you know, I don't know, man. I don't know how to. It's hard to put water into any of these critiques that comics have. Everyone just loves to have a take on like the fact that Trump went on Rogan or that Kamala did SNL. Everyone wants to have a take on that, and you know, it's really easy to have a take when you are not in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's easy to say what you would or wouldn't do. Like, it's easy for me to say what I would or wouldn't do because I'm a small fucking podcast, right? But like, you know, I feel like things get different when you're at that level.
Yeah.
Like when you're at that level, you're like, you probably see your life's purpose differently. Where it's like, and it's like people, you make decisions differently when you're there at that level where it's like, okay, I'm a comic, but what if I had a politician on and that was bigger than my comedy? Is that really selling out? I bet those people have those thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or like or maybe they think selfishly, hey, maybe this would be good for my career. I don't know.
I think possibly, and I don't know because I'm not at that level, but when you get to that level, you think, how can, not my comedy career, but my legacy, and how can I help, you know, whatever I think is right. And if you think that the regime is bad and is against you, you're going to go on the other side. You know what I mean? Like same way that Elon Musk is now involved in politics. You know what I mean? You have all these people who are on the sidelines come in because they think what they're doing is right. You know, they're on the right side of history is what they think.
Right. You know who's on the right side of history?
Who?
The brain organoids. Those are the real winners. I'm going to vote for a brain organoid.
One day you will.
2020.
You did. Biden was the first brain organoid. You know what's funny is people are making fun of him, calling them, look at these two boomers. And it was Trump and Biden at the White House. And I'm like, they're not boomers. They're from the silent generation. That's how old these fuckers
greatest
are.
Whatever the fuck.
Not even the greatest. The silent generation.
What's that? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
The silent generation.
The 1910s?
The 19... let me
20?
See. Let me see.
I didn't even know the generations went back that far. The silent generation?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
1928 through 1945 is the silent generation. So when was Biden born? 1942, silent generation.
Crazy.
Trump born 1946. So okay, he's a boomer, barely. Well, no, is he a boomer?
He's on the cusp of silent and boomer.
What's after silent generation? Baby boomer. So he is a baby boomer by 1 year.
He's basically,
and Biden is the silent generation.
He's good at being silent. That's a very accurate description of him.
The greatest generation was 1901 to 1924.
Oh, wow.
I thought they were the Spanish flu generation.
Imagine being part of calling your generation the greatest generation. Like, fuck you. The greatest generation.
That's what millennials are supposed to be. It's the hero generation.
That's what they call themselves?
No, it's like, I forgot what it's called. It's called the fourth turning. And it's you know how they say strong men make whatever.
Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men.
Yeah, weak men.
Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men.
Yeah. And so it's 4 generations, and I forgot what the other 3 were. There's one's like the artist generation, which is after the hero generation, then you get the artist generation. But,
so like every 4... Oh, so you can apply that to like these generations.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So the greatest generation, those the strong men?
Yeah, those are the millennials. What millennials are today, the hero generation. Then Gen Z is the silent generation.
So they're the hard times?
They're the ones, the good times that make the new art and everything. So that was the Hollywood boom and all that came out of that shit.
So the Gen Z was the good times. So what's after good times? Weak men.
That's when we're the richest and they start just taking the wealth as much as possible. So the boomers, they got the cheap houses, the high pay.
So the boomers are the weak men, right?
The
boomers are the good times that make the weak men.
Yeah.
And then the weak men make the hard times.
Yeah.
So that would be what's after boomer? Gen X?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, what's after? Yeah, what is after boomer? Yeah, Gen X. Yeah, it's Gen X, and then so Gen X, and then millennials, then Gen Z, and then the next generation is the alpha generation. So the alpha generation is like the boomer generation, I think.
Well, I have some bad news for millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. They're all weak men. They're all weak men. Let's be honest. Yeah, man. Should we talk about Google Chrome?
Yeah, they're getting broken up.
So this is crazy. Google Chrome, my favorite browser, which I use, is Google is under assault. Google's under assault from the Department of Justice and the DOJ, in my opinion, 15 years too late. Hey, Google finally got hit with an antitrust lawsuit in 2024. Great job, guys, at the government. Great fucking job. You guys are very on it. You're on it. No one's said that Google's a monopoly. No one's ever said that. And now they finally brought a case at the right time. It's really important. The DOJ, they do their jobs. And it's really important that they brought this case now, because only recently did Google become a monopoly. Google never had a monopoly.
Well, that's because there's bigger players coming in, so the bigger players can now push around the government to go after competitors.
Yes, that's right. And it's the This is a lawsuit. I don't know how old it is, but what's interesting is if Google's forced to divest Google Chrome, who's going to buy it?
Apple?
Or is it just going to be a standalone? It could be Apple. Or is it going to be a standalone business? Meta could buy it. Here's the funny thing. Whoever
MicroStrategy?
I thought you were going to say Microsoft.
No, MicroStrategy is the
What if MicroStrategy bought Google Chrome and then made it the first Bitcoin browser?
Could.
That's game. They should put me on the board.
Elon could buy it.
Elon could buy it. Apparently, it's a $20 billion business, which I believe.
Because isn't that what makes YouTube so powerful? Because Google has the best search engine. So
they suggest YouTube videos in every
so
search
put Chrome, and then it just puts X.
Yes. And
he calls it XXX.
XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
So the DOJ says Google must sell Chrome to crack open its search monopoly. Let's take a look here. The filing includes a broad range of requirements the DOJ hopes the court will impose on Google, from restricting the company from entering certain kinds of agreements to more broadly breaking up the company. Could you keep going down, Josh? Let's see here. In response, can we read Google's response? In response, Google published a blog post saying the DOJ's proposed remedies go, quote, wildly overboard. The post, attributed to Alphabet's chief legal officer, Kent Walker, says the DOJ is pushing a, quote, radical interventionist agenda that would harm Americans and America's global technology leadership. Let's read the blog post. I want to see how Google rationalizes not being a search monopoly. Okay. The extreme, this is according to Google. Google says that Google Chrome is not a monopoly and that there's a very competitive market. Google says that this extreme proposal would endanger the security and privacy of millions of Americans. First of all, hey, the NSA has access to all of our data.
And TikTok in China.
And China. Everyone knows that you're gay. That's a message to my audience.
Oh, that's what they're finding out on TikTok. Yeah, there's people coming out and be like, I didn't know I was bisexual until but TikTok knew before I did.
Because it was suggesting.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, I am bisexual.
So the first point, Google goes, it would endanger the security and privacy of millions of Americans. First of all, shut the fuck up, Google. You don't give a fuck about privacy. You don't give a fuck. You involve the cookies. We all know about the cookies and the crumbles. And undermine the quality of products people love. I hate it when Silicon Valley uses the word love. This is not, love is products and love. Stop trying to make capitalism about love. Hey Josh, you know what's really passionate? Something I'm passionate about is delighting my customers with things they love.
Sounds good.
And then ask me what my product is.
What's your product?
I bomb kids.
I can see how people love that.
I bomb kids with big bombs. And I orphan children.
Yeah.
I love connecting my customers with things that delight them. Raytheon, Tomahawk missiles.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell loves it.
So, let's see. Chill our investment in artificial intelligence, perhaps the most important innovation of our time, where Google plays a leading role. Hurt innovative services like Mozilla's Firefox, whose businesses depend on charging Google for search placement. Deliberately hobble people's ability to access Google search. I don't care about this stuff. Mandate government micromanagement of Google search and other technologies by appointing a, quote, technical committee with enormous power over your online experience. Okay, so Google, let's not forget, Google was one of the big tech companies that I believe collaborated with the government. Mm-hmm. Google is a government contractor. So when Google's making money from the government, all's fine. But now, all of a sudden, when the government wants to regulate Google, all of a sudden they're a free market enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, this is par for the course. Let's take a look at this. As just one example, the DOJ's proposal would literally require us to install not one, but 2 separate choice screens before you could access Google search on a Pixel phone you bought. And the design of these choice screens would have to be approved by the technical committee. And that's just a small part of it. We wish we were making this up. They want us to have, I don't have sympathy. I'm not upset. And I don't care that they're sad about this. They go, isn't this great? If you download you have a Pixel phone, you may have to have a little screen that says, which search engine do you want to use? And that's wrong. That's so wrong.
If you have a Pixel phone, you have more things to worry about.
Like what?
If you got to get off a Pixel phone. I used to sell those motherfuckers. They suck.
Oh, I thought you meant like, I thought you were like, if you have a Pixel phone, you got like child support to worry about.
No. Well, yeah, possibly.
Probably.
That's the free phone that you get.
If you have a Pixel phone, it's time to get into rehab for your drug addiction. So I don't know. I mean, you know, the question is Trump's administration going to quash these lawsuits, or are they going to double down on them? Because what's interesting is that the conservative party usually deregulates. And it is Democrats that would like to break up monopolies because that's a heavy-handed government. But big tech has been very critical of the right and biased, in my opinion. Let's keep it real. Big tech has a lot of bias against the right. So the question is, are they going to go after big tech? And I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. So yeah, it's gonna be some pretty crazy shit. Should we wrap it up, Josh?
Yeah, it's like 12:30.
Sorry, man, we went over. Sorry. Well,
where are we headed?
We're headed into RFK's brain organoid simulation future. If you could choose a simulation to be in, Josh, what would it be?
The one I'm living now.
Again?
I'm living in the simulation right now.
Right, but if you go to
and I chose to be in a basement with you.
Oh, that's cute. Wow, that's wholesome. Josh, thank you for producing my show once again. I'm moving back to Austin.
Yeah.
No. But I'll be back again soon. It's been wonderful to spend some time with you, Josh. Hail Satan. And I'll leave you with this. Check out, I'm on the road. I'm headlining LOL San Antonio in January. I'm headlining San Antonio, Austin, Tampa. Links are at seanreillycomedy.com for my upcoming tour dates. And I appreciate you guys. We're going to do the Patreon tomorrow probably from my iPhone. I'm sorry I'm on the road. And onward and upward, you know. All of our friends are successful now, Josh, which means we're next.
Yep.
And once I do theaters, you're going to feature for me.
Thank you.
And I hope that you would say the same for me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sounds like a deal. I have that on video. So you can't say it. You can't be like, oh, it's booked. That's the show, guys. That is Sean's show with Josh Cabaza. Have a great night. Bye.